So major planetary shifts this week are going to bring huge changes for us. We have a beautiful new moon tomorrow on June the 6th, and this is a 6/6 portal because June is the sixth month, of course. So I will mention briefly what the number 6 symbolizes so that we have an understanding of what the frequency or the energy of this day is. And then we're also going to talk about how this new moon is going to influence us and what changes are really coming in now, because these changes are pretty big. There's a complete reshaping that is taking place within our communities, within our society as a whole. So there's a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. Welcome to the channel. My name is Kata. I'm a spiritual life coach and energy healer, and I love astrology. I love to make videos about astrology because it's so relevant in our lives. There's so much that it has to offer us in terms of guidance and wisdom for our daily life and how to progress forward. The energy has been drastically different since we entered the month of June. I'm not sure if you are feeling that or not. I most certainly was feeling that right from the 1st of June. So it's like every time the Schumann resonance peaks, which we had a massive peak, not yesterday actually, but on the 3rd. And then of course we have solar flares that are actually facing Earth right now. These energies are creating so much change, so much turmoil, so much is being pushed to the surface that it really is intense. June somehow, as we entered the 6th month of the year, took a drastic turn. The emotional aspect or the certain feelings, certain buried gunk that is still emerging, that I'm still noticing is coming up, is just kind of mind-boggling in a way. And you have to really keep in mind that this is the time to journal. When you are experiencing like really intense energetic releases, emotional releases, and things bubbling to the surface, it's very important to honor that, to allow that to come and release, right? To not suppress it, to not push it down, and to not ignore it. So there has been, in the last few days, so much time that I have had to almost in a way forcefully spend with myself and just pay attention to how I was feeling, honor those feelings, stop trying to push through them, stop trying to ignore them and bypass them, but really sitting with them and allowing myself just to feel how I was feeling and really honoring myself. It's quite the process to learn how to really deeply love yourself and really unconditionally. So keep that in mind as we move through the month of June, because more of this unfolding is going to continue. More of this revealing energy is going to continue pushing stuff out of our chakras. It's going to continue realigning our energy centers. So like the last 2 days, I had crazy heartburn. I never get heartburn typically. So that was really odd and sort of out of character for me. And I knew as soon as I tapped into my personal wisdom and just tuned in, and I did a meditation yesterday morning, I knew that there was something happening with my solar plexus, which is the internal sun. It's your self-confidence, self-love, self-worth, self-appreciation. All of that energy is in the solar plexus, and that energy was just being completely revamped, recalibrated yesterday. Whatever remnants were still in there was definitely being pushed out. And so I just had to drink a lot of water. I couldn't really eat much either. It was just, there was like waves of nausea coming. It was so strange. It's not something that I typically experience. So there was definitely different physical symptoms that were requiring my attention, that were demanding my attention, and demanding that I pay attention to what needs to release at this time, what is still stuck within me energetically in terms of certain feelings. So there was a lot I journaled on. I hope you guys are also journaling and releasing this stuff as it's coming up for you, because it gives you so much insight about who you are, what you are, why you feel the way that you feel during certain times. And when we have such intense energy peaks, it's very important to keep in mind that these energy peaks are really there to serve us. They are truly there to elevate us to a much higher frequency. And in order to elevate to a higher frequency, you have to look at your shit. You have to look at things within yourself that are perhaps still there, perhaps still coming up. And I always say, and I always remind people, that the work really never ends. And I think if we have this acceptance about the fact that self-love and self-development will never end in your lifetime, that it is an ongoing process, and it is something that can be easier, it can be experienced in a better way. As long as we come into acceptance about that, then I think we're going to continue evolving as a society, as the human race. We are going to continue to grow, and we are going to continue to elevate ourselves up to beautiful 5D Earth. So let's get it. Let's keep going. Now, all that being said, let's get into the symbolism behind the number 6. So number 6 is the symbol of Venus, the goddess of love. It is the embodiment of the heart. So this 6/6 portal tomorrow, this new moon energy tomorrow, is really asking us to tap into our heart space, to connect to those genuine, heartfelt feelings that we have within ourselves that perhaps we have suppressed, perhaps we have not expressed, perhaps we have been shutting down and hiding from the world or hiding from others. So this embodiment of the heart representing unconditional love and the ability to support, nurture, and heal. And of course, ourselves and other people. So there's a big emphasis on heart expansion, heart opening. There's a massive expansion actually happening within the heart space. I was feeling a lot of different physical symptoms actually in my heart space the last probably 2 days, 3 days now, where it was just pain, and I could feel stuff leaving, and I could feel stuff transmuting, and I was helping it out. I was burning sage. I was doing all the things, barefoot in the grass, just grounding myself in to the moment and really connecting with whatever was happening in the heart space. Do that. It's very helpful. Number 6 is also about balancing your material physical life with your inner emotional and spiritual life. So 6 is a number of balance, right? It's an even number. And so this 6/6 portal is asking us to be much more aware of how much balance or lack of balance we have within our physical material life and our spiritual emotional life. When you are suppressing stuff all the time, then you're not in balance on the emotional spiritual side. You're constantly running from that. You're constantly trying to escape from those inner feelings that come from you, that need to be felt and that need to be honored. It's perfectly okay to feel however we are feeling in any moment. And I kept reminding myself actually on the 1st and even yesterday, that it's okay to not be okay, because my ego is so strong when it comes to this and wants to just power through and force yourself, make yourself do it, get up, go cook, go do this, go do that. And it was like, I don't want to. And I had to really, really honor that. And I had to keep reminding myself, you know what? It's okay to not be okay all the time, right? So that's what this is asking us. It's this pure, unconditional love for yourself and knowing when you're good to go and when you have the power and you have the energy to get stuff done and when you don't, and honoring yourself in those moments when you don't have the energy to get stuff done, and just giving yourself the time and the space and the energy to just be like, okay, I'm going to take a back seat right now and just chill out and let myself, really give to myself whatever it is I need to give. So yesterday it was a 2-hour nap right at noon. I had my lunch and then I had to lay down for 2 hours. I was just done. I felt so tired, and I knew that something within me was processing, was transmuting, and I needed to sleep because I needed to shut off my conscious mind for that. So when you are very, very tired, honor that tiredness by letting yourself have a nap, laying down, rest in whatever way is best for you. But I think the main idea with the tiredness is always to shut off the conscious mind so that whatever is happening subconsciously, whatever is clearing, whatever programs, thoughts, belief systems are clearing in your mind, that they can actually clear. because you can't clear that stuff when you're conscious, because your mind is racing and is massively distracted, right? So this pure unconditional love is what we are reminded of with this 6-6 portal, and it's a new moon, so it's like new beginnings, let's go, right? So the Gemini air element is going to change our communications, connections, communities, and alliances in very unexpected ways. So you may already notice we've already been moving through a purging process for quite a few years now, where we've been revamping our relationships, our communities, how we come together, our social networks, our social groups. Those are all being completely revamped right now on an individual level. So you may have done some rearranging within your friend groups, within your associations, people that you know and that you associate with, and you may have had to purge quite a bit, and you may have already been purging quite a bit. I know personally I went through a significant purge in the last 3 to 4 years. So now it's like it's being amped up even more. Now we're being pushed into forming new alliances, into forming new connections and new communities. So this is about tribal energy. It's about bringing your tribe together and you connecting to your tribe. Who are your people? Who are the people that are like-minded, and not necessarily like-minded, but, kind of walk a similar path to you or have a lot of similar beliefs. It's about really connecting with people that we jive with, people that we fit with in a much more harmonious and better way, and disconnecting from people that we don't feel that resonance with any longer. So there's a big, big push for this right now with this new moon. It's like this new beginning. It's this fresh start. And this new moon is, we always say every new moon is a new beginning and a fresh start. But this one in particular is truly this new beginning when it comes to relationships, when it comes to connections. So Gemini, the twins, the sign of the twins, is about relationships, is about twin energy, actually, even twin flame, soulmate, those deeply spiritual connections that you forge with another, that you have with another. Those connections are now, for many people, are ready to come together. It's about, again, that alignment, right? Of connecting to your tribe, connecting to your people. So this is definitely going to be playing out on a very big scale when it comes to relationships, personal relationships, and couple relationships. Individually and collectively, our tastes, preferences, values are going to shift quite radically. Already has been shifting for quite some time, and now we have another big push with this new moon and another big reminder from the universe to really, really kind of update your taste, your preferences, your values. Take a look at them, question them, look at your beliefs. My God, beliefs have been such an incredibly loud message ever since June 1st hit. It is absolutely incredible. Looking at your beliefs, how are they serving you? Are they positive beliefs? Are they negative beliefs? Are they super outdated? Do you need to really reevaluate how you look at the world and what you believe in about yourself especially? So radical changes in those areas as well. It's also time to turn up your BS detector when it comes to social media, the news, people in your life. So become hyper aware of what is actually going on, intentions of people, how they act, how they behave compared to what they're saying. So really, really hone in on becoming aware of BS and just noticing how people are deceptive, how social media is deceptive, how the news is deceptive, how people spin stories so that something sounds, in a way that they want to present it to you, but isn't actually reflecting the truth, right? So right now is a very, very important time for us to become much more aware of truth, especially with the age of AI coming in. I was recently seeing that there's a lot of people online who are very upset with AI about basically stealing art, stealing people's work, and data mining, right? And just scooping everything and scraping the internet and just taking all of this beautiful artwork that people actually made and put their blood, sweat, and tears into, that now AI just, you can put in, fluffy bear with blue eyes, and all of a sudden you're going to get like an AI generated image. But that AI generated image is actually someone's artwork. That's actually someone's creativity, someone's talent, someone's love and passion, right? So recognizing how a lot of these tools, and I still to this day have not used AI on any platform whatsoever. I am, to be honest with you, 100% against it. I'm not interested in using AI. I always feel like an alien when it comes to new technology because I am probably the last person that is interested in trying it. It's just not, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the way these companies are using AI and how they are basically stealing people's work. And it's not just art, it's also music, it's also text and script. It's all kinds of things that, AI is just essentially taking what's already on the internet and reworking it for you in a slightly different way. And then basically you're plagiarizing, you're just taking somebody else's work. But so that for that reason, I don't use AI at all. I'm a creator and I want to create my own stuff, and I want it to come from my head and from my heart, not from some AI generated from basically somebody else's work. Okay, so there's this discernment that we need to use when it comes to these platforms, these apps, all of these things that are available to us that are just exploding onto the social media market. And keep in mind that these things are always going to be presented in a positive light as long as somebody is making money off of it, right? So that's something that's very, very important to keep in mind, actually. That what is the motive behind pushing something out to the world, right? What is the motive? The number one motive typically is money, right? Finances, to make a buck off of it. And the second motive typically is to control the masses, to influence minds and opinions. And speaking of discernment, it is also time to pull away from groupthink. So it is time to detach your mind, detach yourself from sort of the masses and the way that the masses are following each other in a way, and following all of these different ideas and the AI, and just following kind of everything that is being presented to them, right? This new moon is asking you to pull out of that. And if you are someone who doesn't resonate with all these different things that are being shoved in our faces at this time through social media or through the news, then pull yourself out of that and don't consume that type of information, or don't participate in that type of groupthink and just following the crowd. What this new one is essentially saying is don't be a sheeple. Okay, that's what it's saying. Plain, simple words. It's time to connect with people who share common ground with you. So again, this is going back to that tribal energy, back to that alliances, and reassessing where you plug into. What groups, what communities are you currently connected with? Does that still resonate for you? Do you still feel like you belong there? Or perhaps maybe you need to be a pioneer. Maybe you need to be someone who is creating their own group and creating your own, tribe and your own ways to connect with different people who are like-minded. So this is a time to become very, very deliberate about your energetic hygiene, only visiting those places, people, and things that speak to your soul, that are a reflection of your energy signature. So again, it's aligning yourself and connecting with that which already feels like you, that which already feels like is in harmony with you, and disconnecting from everything and anything that does not feel like it is in harmony with you. Become very, very selective in your choices of social media feeds, online communities, books you read, programs you watch, and even the people that you spend time with, particularly the most. what you feed your mind is as important as what you feed your body. So this is because we're in Gemini season. Gemini is an air sign. Air sign has to do with the mind, has to do with thinking, has to do with ideas. This is a very radical time to reassess what you feed your mind and making sure that you're not plugging into and you're not consuming information that can sway you. Do not forget that social media is used to influence, correct? So if we are using social media to influence one another, how are you being influenced by the stuff that you consume, by the things that you watch, the social media feeds, right? And, the For You page and all this different stuff. How are you being influenced by that? Because you are constantly being influenced. You are told, what to like, what to not like. You're being told what you should buy and what you shouldn't buy and all these different things, right? So pay attention to that and how it is influencing you. And is that influence having a positive or a negative effect? If there are people that you are watching or following that you are constantly comparing yourself to, first of all, then you need to look at, your own self-confidence and ask yourself, why am I comparing myself to pears and apples when I'm a banana, right? So it's just about having serious discernment about what you are giving time and energy to, and really understanding and making the connection that it is influencing you in one way or another, whether you are aware of it or not. So being very selective becomes your psychic protection, because this is about protecting our minds. This is about protecting your sovereignty, your way of thinking, right? Because everything is constantly influencing us. It's very, very important that you protect your mind. You protect those ideas that you get, and you protect creativity and different things that want to flow through you by actually unplugging, by not being so attentive to what other people are constantly doing. Because what that does is it immediately takes away your own creativity. You forget those ideas, especially if you don't write them down. And then before you know it, you're just kind of like, oh, they're doing that. And you zone out and you get lost in somebody else's work or somebody else's ideas, right? So this is a time to protect your ideas, protect your thoughts, protect your mind by not consuming content that doesn't serve you. And there's, believe me, a lot of content that we all consume that doesn't serve us, that we don't even realize. So just check in with yourself about that. It's very important right now to also build alliances, create community and safe places to gather your tribe and have radical conversations about the future. Our future is very rapidly changing. Our day-to-day life is very rapidly changing, as I'm sure we are all aware. So it is very important for us to now come together in a much stronger way and really connect to those people, where we can build up these tribes and build up these communities that are very much on the same page. And the importance of this is going to be to, strengthen numbers. When we come together, we can support one another better, and actually healing can take place when we come together and support one another. It's very healing for all of us to do that, right? The solo journey is really not on the table at this point any longer. Hermit mode, hiding away, hiding your creativity, your talent, your gifts, your skills, who you are, your authenticity is no longer okay. In Gemini season, this month, especially like June, is such a magical month and is such an incredible month of change. And it's asking us, can you step up and be seen and put yourself out there and connect with other people and network and do all these different kind of things to come together and bring those beautiful ideas together and see what you can create together. When you look at what you create by yourself, can you imagine what you could create with others, right? So this Gemini new moon compels us to empty ourselves out and take in the light and the warmth of spirit. So like I said, purging will continue. And this purging is particularly focused on the mind. It is about how you think and the beliefs that you have, the beliefs that you hold within your subconscious mind and conscious mind. Really looking at that, writing out lists of different beliefs and new beliefs that you want to have will be a very, very good exercise during this new moon tomorrow. So writing out a list of all of the new beliefs that you want to have and start repeating those beliefs daily and using them like affirmations so that you can reprogram, rewire your brain to think differently, to start looking at your life and the world with more expansion and allowing more to come in. So really, really look at your beliefs during this new moon. You may also feel this drive to unite with your destiny. So it's like destiny is calling us in the month of June. And this month really, truly is a very, very magical month. It can be a very productive month if you apply yourself correctly. And if you get your headspace right and your mind right, and of course your heart right, because remember that the 6/6 portal is so much about the heart and connecting to the heart space. So this month offers so much magic and beauty and new beginning and fresh starts and new communities and new ways of thinking, new ideas, new creativity, that it's something that we must absolutely take advantage of. And you can only take advantage of it if you're aware of what the month offers you energetically and the opportunity that is there for you. And the opportunities are always something that we create for ourselves. Don't ever forget that. Opportunities, I'm going to say this again, are something that you create for yourselves. So it's not something that just comes out of nowhere. It is something that you will have to have an intention for. You set an intention for and put it out to the universe and say, I would love to experience this. And then that opportunity just kind of presents itself magically whenever, wherever, and however the universe wants to deliver it to you. So keep that in mind, that this month offers this for us, and this new moon most definitely offers this for us, particularly when it comes to relationships, when it comes to connecting with tribes, friends. So whatever is most important, most valuable for you, and whatever you most desire at this time, whatever you feel is your destiny to connect with, focus on that and focus on already having it in your life. Have gratitude, express gratitude for that. I remember yesterday I kept trying to put myself back into gratitude mode as I was partially feeling sorry for myself for feeling like crap. And then I was like, no, we're not victims of anything here. This is just ascension symptoms. We're cool. We're good. Everything's awesome. And go back into gratitude. And I did. And I kept reminding myself that I have so much to be grateful for, and that I live in such a beautiful place, and that I live in such harmony and peace, and how wonderful that is. So keep that in mind and know that no matter how extravagant or unlikely your destiny may feel to you, it is possible for you. So just allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to really set these beautiful intentions to connect with your destiny, and to connect with your destiny now that you are ready, that you feel aligned, and put that out there tomorrow on this new moon. And of course, in order to truly and fully connect with your destiny at this time, remember that surrender is the most important thing. So once you put it out there, surrender to it. Surrender your desires and your destiny to the universe and say, you know what, I'm here, I'm ready for it, I am open for it, and I'm going to completely trust you to deliver it for me. That's what I always do. When you put that kind of trust out there, you have aligned yourself in such a beautiful way that the universe has no choice but to deliver it for you, because like attracts like, and your vibration is now going to call in that experience and call in that destiny, no matter how crazy you think it is or how unlikely you might, your small ego self may believe it to be irrational, to believe in. So that is the message for this beautiful Gemini new moon coming up tomorrow for this 6/6 portal. Make sure that you, like I said, connect with yourself, connect with your heart, and connect with your mind. This is about bringing brain-heart coherence into alignment. It is about aligning yourself with your destiny, aligning yourself with those relationships, those communities, and those connections that are going to serve your life in a very positive way. So you allow by surrendering, surrender to the process. Just fully trust that it is already done. It is already happening for you because you are the dreamer and you've already dreamt it up. So it has no choice but to come to you. And all you do is, through the surrender process, fully align yourself to it. Thank you so much for watching, for tuning in. I love you guys. Have a beautiful new moon tomorrow, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.